across almost like 4 continents. And that shows that even with the time differences, we still have to work it out. That shows the zeal and the interest that my guests have in their hearts to share important information with you this afternoon. As I said earlier, I have my guests coming up from the United Kingdom, Ireland. That's Mrs. Olayinka Aremu. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, everyone.
Then I have she's the CEO of Synergy International Nursing Network, because this event is coming up as a partnership between Adam's Health Blog and then the CEO of Synergy Health Nursing International Network. Also, I have on the platform this particular period my able CEO of Sajpointe Health, and that's in person of Ajao Sandra, all the way from the United States of America. Thanks for coming up.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all. It's a great privilege to be all here.
Yeah.
Again, another guest I have that is from all the way from another pole of the world, and she'll be talking live direct from New Zealand, and she'll be sharing very important information about New Zealand and Australia, and that's Mrs. Ajiteru E.A, all the way from New Zealand.
Hi.
And again, I also have another guest all the way from Kuwait, and that's Mrs. Tewogbade M.T. She'll be also sharing some of the doubts that we have, especially about all these countries and from the Middle East. She will help us out and build us out. Thanks for coming up.
Hi, good evening. Good evening from Kuwait.
A lot of people want to hear from you.
And then I still have another guest coming up. He'll be joining us soon. He'll be talking live from Saudi Arabia. He has contacted me that you can see many of them are still at work, and then he told me that I should be worried. He's assuring me that he will join us soon, and he'll be talking live from Saudi Arabia. So I'm waiting for him to join us. Now, as I said earlier, before we begin our discussion, this event is always supported by Sajpointe Health, that's the United States, Synergy Health, Synergy International Nursing Network from UK and Ireland. Then also with Research Resource Hub, that's in Nigeria. Welcome, all of you. Now, straight to the event. I will first of all start with my beautiful sister all the way from New Zealand, because I know UK and Ireland / United States, there are a lot of information that is going to be bombarded from those two areas. So I'm going to reserve a lot of time, but due to the time factor, we might not have enough to elaborate more, but we are going to get information that you need. One of the questions that usually come up frequently, that if someone wants to migrate to New Zealand or Australia, what are the existing opportunities for nurses?
Oh, thank you. Before I go into the existing opportunities, I would just like you to know that there are 2 things that are required of you as a nurse if you are coming to New Zealand. The first thing is you have to be a BNSC graduate. New Zealand does not accept only RNs. And the second thing is your IELTS. The second thing is your IELTS result. So New Zealand is the only country at the moment that is quite lenient when it comes to their English proficiency requirements. New Zealand accepts, the Nursing Council of New Zealand accepts you to combine your highest result in succession of sittings. What do I mean? You are allowed to combine your IELTS. Let's say you have written 1 now and you've scored probably 7 in your reading, and you write another one, and you score 7 in another component. So they allow you to have your 7 in each of the components in succession of sittings, as long as the IELTS exams are taken within the space of 12 months. So that's one of the things that you have to do. And there are so many opportunities available in here. So if you are able to do that with your BNSC, then you are eligible. There's no other board examination required of you. As long as you're able to meet the two, it's only 3 steps, and it's quite straightforward. You don't need anybody to put you through. You can do them by yourself.
That's very good information.
Thank you for that beautiful point. We can see that now she's sending it directly and telling us the exact point that we're supposed. Please, we want all our participants to mute their microphone. Is very important so that we can hear clearly and loudly. Please, let's mute it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Ajiteru, for that. So we are all informed now that BNSC is the priority in New Zealand, Australia. So we have to know that. Thank you for that. Just like you said it again. So does that mean that there is no licensing board that you have to undergo, just like what happened in the United States or in UK on Ireland, in New Zealand?
Thank you. Like I said earlier, the New Zealand Nursing Council is the only one that does all this. And the thing you have to do, they also do their credential evaluation through the CGFNS. It's similar to the one in the US. You pay $300 to them, and they require you to have just 5 documents. The first thing is your identity document. I mean your passport, your driver's license, or any other photo ID from the government. So the second thing is your employment history. They want you to have at least 2,500 hours of working experience, and you should have worked in the last 2 years, in the last 2 years within the space of 5 years. So the third thing is your education. Like I said earlier, your education is very important to them, and your license validation. That's from the Nigerian Nursing Council. And the last but not the least thing is your English language proficiency result. So as long as you're able to get those 5 documents together, CGFNS is going to do your credential evaluation, and they'll be the one to send the reports directly to the Nursing Council of New Zealand. As long as they receive that, you are eligible, and they will send you a document to do your adaptation.
Thank you very much. Lastly, on that, how friendly is New Zealand? Because I know a lot of people used to say, I cannot stay in the cold area, I cannot stay from Nigeria, where I can take just like a 2 hours flight and go home and come back. How friendly is New Zealand?
Can I tell you that New Zealand is very friendly? If you're talking about the weather, New Zealand has got one of the best weathers in the world. I'm not saying it out of, like, I'm not making mouth, because we don't have extremes of anything. We don't have extremes of any weather. Like at the moment we are in the winter period, you still have your sunshine. So if you love nature, if you love landscapes, you will love New Zealand. So if you love nature, you are good to go. If you love farming, you are fine. You can do your whole wheat farming and you are good to go. So that's about the weather. About the people here too. New Zealand is about, like, the population in New Zealand is less than 5 million, and 75% of them, they are foreigners. So you can tell that it's just like the coming together of so many people in here. So New Zealand is relatively friendly. I would just say that.
Thank you very much. I think we are going to answer some of the few questions in the chats. That is like someone was asking, is there any website? So maybe you can tell us if there's any website to.
Oh yeah, it's just NCNZ. I'll tell you, if you want to come to New Zealand, you don't need anybody to do anything for you. They are very, very transparent in their dealings with people. As long as you can use Facebook, you can use WhatsApp, then you are good to go. So if you just type NCNZ, they will give you all the information, and they are very responsive to their emails. NCNZ, it means Nursing Council New Zealand, and that's the way they just write it together. So if you go online and go through that, you'll see all the information in there.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Now I'll move to my next guest. That's Mrs. Tewogbade, all the way from Kuwait.
Adams, before we go to next,
okay.
I just want to put it to Esther again about Australia.
Oh yeah,
sure. Take it together as well. because we know they have similar things in common.
Yeah, sure. So like you all know, that New Zealand is just very close to Australia, and it's easier for you if you have achieved your licensure in New Zealand. Is the two countries, their licensure are transferable. What do I mean? Personally, I live in New Zealand and I'm registered both in New Zealand and in Australia. So if you are looking to go into Australia, New Zealand is one of the easiest way for you to get in there. So like they have something they call trans-Tasman agreements. So that agreement allows you to, as long as you have the New Zealand one, immediately you get it, you're eligible for Australia's one. You only apply to the Nursing Council of Australia. They will ask you to pay a token, but you are exempted from any other thing. You don't have to do exam. You don't have to do any adaptation. You're just good to go. So you can be renewing it even if you're not in Australia. And if you want to go in there, you can always get an employer and you go there. And that's the way it works.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that remark. I think we are good to go to the next guest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to Mrs. Tewogbade all the way from Kuwait. I think my CEO Sajpointe was telling me there are a lot of you that want to hear from Kuwait. Now,
a lot of USRS, a lot of United States registered nurses want to hear from her. Yeah, they're quite interested.
Yeah, that's good. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. The first question is to get involved. Like want to migrate and get employed in Kuwait. How does it go?
Well, I'll kick off by saying that you can hear me well.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
We can.
So I will kick off by saying that because many people still ask me, where is Kuwait? Where is Kuwait? Where is Kuwait? And I will answer this by saying that it is located in the Asia part of the world. And this is part of the Arab country. So when we're talking about Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, UAE, they are all within the same region. So for you to get employed in Kuwait, you don't need IELTS, you don't need OET. So all you need, yes, no need for IELTS, no need for OET, but all you need is to get an employer. You need someone in the Kuwait. Because I discovered there is no agency that is recruiting people from Kuwait, from Nigeria to Kuwait. So I discovered that the percentage of Nigerian nurses in Kuwait is very low. It's very minute compared to other population. And this Kuwait is like a country, as Mrs. Ajiteru just mentioned, like 80% of workers in Kuwait are expatriates. Are foreigners from different countries. So it is a very nice place to be. So all you need now is to get an employer inside Kuwait or someone to, you need to search. Either you get inside Kuwait or you search through the website, different platform. Once you get your employer, you'll be scheduled for you submit your CV, you'll be scheduled for an interview. After your interview through the Skype, after interview, your credentials, evaluation, attestation from ministries of education and foreign affairs. After that, then your employer can just bring you in.
Okay.
There is no need for you to go ahead and do OET or HIAT. Just get someone to get to work for you. Once you do your Skype interview. If they are satisfied whatever with it, then they can say you go ahead for your credentials attestation. You go to Nursing Council to take your documents of good standing. Wow. And your license must be valid. Your Nursing Council Nigerian license must be valid.
Yeah.
After doing that, then your employer will send you your visa. That is, they call it entry visa, for you to be able to enter Kuwait. And one thing is that you go for your criminal, there is this, how did they put this one?
The criminal background check.
Criminal clearance certificate. Criminal clearance certificate. Once you're able to get that, then you can move down here to Kuwait. So when you get into Kuwait, you undergo orientation program where you are supposed to work. Now, not the agency will just fetch you organization to employ you. When you get there, they welcome you. You do orientation program. After then, you undergo ministry exam. And this exam, it is a written exam. It's used to come in objective. This is just 30 questions. And 30 questions objective. After you pass that question, there are going to be a kind of interview, how do I call it? Oral exam. Instead of going in for OSCE or practical exam, you just go in for oral exam. This oral exam, it is one-on-one question regarding nursing, regarding anything under nursing. So if you're able to scale through this, you pass through this, you are licensed as a registered nurse in Kuwait. So that is
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's very
interesting.
That looks very straightforward.
straightforward.
Yeah,
Very straightforward. And you can all see that these are the information that we don't have at the tips of our finger, and we are so surprised to be hearing all this. So these are the things that is possible. Now that will take me to the next question. Yeah, I know you just like what you mentioned, the Arab countries. I think we used to have this flair that Arab country, terrorism, and then the fear of religion. I am a Christian. How do I go to a Muslim country and practice, especially in Kuwait? And I know Kuwait is one of OPEC member, that is an oil producing nation, just like Nigeria. And I know they used to say, what do you say, oil money in Kuwait. Now, I want to ask these questions now. One, how religious tolerance are they in Kuwait? Two, this issue of terrorism and security, is there no security problem? Then three, how is the value for the work? I mean, in terms of money, oil money. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll start by saying that there is a kind of conjecture, or let me say speculations, that when you go to Arab country, you want to endanger your life. I bet it with you, this is real. This is a very peaceful country. The rate of crime is very low. And it is a place you would love to be, because there are so many expatriates here. You have people from Philippines, from India. So it's like different people from different countries coming together for one purpose. So you are not the only one that you are foreigner. You understand? So you have different people coming together. And when in terms of religion, just like every other society, just like every other country, there is this thing that you respect the norms, the value, the cultural beliefs, and the religious belief of every patient, every society you belong to. Same here. If you don't trespass, if you stick to your line, you respect their religious belief. Sincerely, the religious belief is not as strict as what we are looking at back in Nigeria. It's not as so how do I put it? It is not as difficult as what we think. It is just a kind of speculation that it is like this, it is like that. It is very free, no crime, no racism. And this religious belief is the way you will treat your patient, respect their religious belief, same way.
That's good. That's good.
Then it is safe. It is very safe. You can work, once you have your residence permit, you can work anywhere. You can do anything you want to do. It is allowed.
Okay, if that should be the case, I think you should send me an invitation for the next summer to come and visit.
I'll just say one thing regarding that. See, excuse me, I will say one thing regarding that. If you want to come in to visit, okay, if you come in to visit, it is strictly visit. This is what Kuwait is. If you want to come for tourism, it is strictly for that. The only thing you can do is to submit your CV to different organizations that you want to work. You will go back to your country, or maybe peradventure, at that time, they schedule the ministry exam. At that time, you can do the exam. After that, you go back to your country, your employer will bring you in back. It's not that you come in for work, for visit, then from there you jump to work. No, you have to go back to your country and come on the basis of work.
I think that was the question, Tewogbade. Thank you for that. How do people get employer? Because I think that's the major thing. So how do people get employer in Kuwait?
I will be practical about this. I got employer because I have my dad worked here for some time. I have someone here that actually told me, submit your CV to this link. There is no agency, as far to the best of my knowledge, no agency from Nigeria. Maybe someone will spring up soon. I just discussed with someone about that. But you can search through the internet, through ads of different. After I can just give the one link out.
Okay.
After this,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my two CEOs, they are gonna work on that. For those of you that you might be interested, something new is gonna come up. so
Yeah.
that so
Yeah.
we see how it can
So-
go. And that is basically what this event is all about. We want to
Then I
share
would like
with
to say something. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Regarding the oil money, or what do you call it? Kuwait is a rich country, no doubt about that. They are very rich, like they are very rich country. But there is standard for everything. Regarding salary payment, it depends on the organization you're working. We all believe that the ministry, the government hospital pay more than the private sectors. So, and if you want to work in government sectors, you have to be in the Kuwait first. Maybe you start working with private sectors, then you cross over to, so, but the salary is far better from what we hand back on. At least it's okay. It's a good starting point.
Yeah, thank you.
So
At least I can confirm that she has traveled several times, so it shows that the salary is good. That is very common.
I just want to say something. Honestly, yesterday, this just by the way, I saw my pay slip from Nigeria. I had them all together, stapled together, like 8 months. And I was going and I showed my husband my pay slip. And honestly, it's let's just leave that. So it's better opportunities everywhere, and we want to encourage everyone. We are not encouraging brain drainage in Nigeria, but then we believe if you have the opportunity, take it, and for yourself, for your family, and also for Nigeria, for Nigerian nursing, because we are the future of Nigerian nursing anyway. So thank you, Adams.
Yeah.
So quickly, I think Adams will get himself.
Question.
Sorry about that.
Can I just say this, please? We are recording this for GDPR purpose, and we are very mindful of data protection here. So just know that this session is recorded, video and audio, and we will be going, reposting it and broadcasting it elsewhere. So if you don't want your face to show, you can stop your video. And thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Now that will take me to the next guest that I have that we are going to discuss, and that's Mrs. Olayinka Aremu. That's why I decided that we are leaving 2 major powerful countries to come up last, because there are a lot of information that we're not going to hear from them. And that's my able CEO of Synergy International Network. And you can see that she's done a very wonderful job, and she's been so much coordinating and assisting a lot of Nigerians that have one issue or the other to migrate to UK or to Ireland. In fact, some of them that they've had their IELTS and they're having this kind of serious challenges, she's been doing a very wonderful job on that. Thank you for joining us, Mrs. Aremu. Now, the first question I'm going to ask for you, that is very straightforward, is that I know after having all these things that has been set up, I have my LTS, I have my OET, I have everything is fine. Now, the first thing that usually comes to our mind is that how am I going to leave my family going to another place entirely? And we used to have this kind of fear of relocating and this thing. What are the things that we should know when we are relocating to UK or to Ireland?
All right. Thank you so much. I like that part where you started. Everyone, welcome. So I'll start with Ireland. Ireland and UK, for people that don't know, because myself, before I got to Ireland, I didn't even know where Ireland was. So Ireland is not a UK country. So Ireland is EU. I think there's somebody there. Please, can we try to mute everybody? So Ireland is an EU European country. It's different from United Kingdom. And even with this Brexit, there are a lot of differences between them. But about family relocation, it is possible for Ireland, because most of the time, or majority, you're coming in here based on exam, either aptitude tests or adaptation. That means your visa requirements will either say they are coming for exam or adaptation. Realistically, I would say nobody will expect you to be coming with you, for you to be coming with your family to come and write exam. So your visa, your initial visa will be 6 months. If you fulfilled all righteousness, it will be 6 months. So, and within that 6 months, they expect that you finish your adaptation. If you took the adaptation pathway, I will explain later. And if you take the aptitude test pathway, you have finished the test, you have your PIN. So I would say realistically, just come alone, honestly, come alone, face whatever you want to do. And then after the 6 months, your visa will be renewed. That means you have your PIN, you are now a registered nurse, your visa will be renewed. You'll be changed from what we know as a typical working scheme visa to a critical working permit. So the critical working permit allows you to apply for your family, and then you can bring them. Policies are changing; they are becoming very lenient about that, and so it's just a matter of proper documentation, and then you can bring your family. For UK, I know of people who goes with their family straight away. But you know, your COS, certificate of sponsorship for the UK, will only cover for yourself and not for your family. That means if you have the financial resources, you have to get the visa for your family and like that yourself. But you will be covered. And most of the time, they refund you whatever you have spent in the UK. So, but like I said, realistically, it is important that I would just say advice, come alone. It makes the journey easier. Come alone, and we've had testimony. We have a lot of people that have their family join them after 3 months, after 6 months, depending on individual circumstances. I think I'll pause there, Adams.
Thank you very much. Now, for people that have just like IELTS and every other thing already, and with the problem of the current COVID-19 pandemic, what are the current challenges? Because I know a lot of people they've been struggling, especially with Nursing Council in Nigeria, with Nursing Council in Ireland. How is it? What can you say about that?
Yeah, personally, or for Synergy, that has been a major challenge to us because, like you said, while we have a lot of people that already have the required IELTS or OET, now the COVID-19 is affecting everybody. It's affecting every organization. It's making documentation slow, response rates is slow, and all that. So, the National Military Board of Ireland at the moment are kind of laid back when it comes to responding. If they send some automatic message once it is an overseas registration, like you have to hold on. So what I would just say is, please be patient. There is, for people that already have a decision letter, there's an automatic extension of your decision letter. So like 6 months. So it's not going to expire. So they give an automatic extension for that. And those that are just maybe at the registration stage, registration continues, it's not stopping. Only that the response rate might be, might not be as fast as before. So if you have your OELTS, you can start your registration. NMBI takes €350 for registration. And that you have to pay upfront before you can get your application pack. So there's no bargain about that. So
Can we have that person muted, please? Someone there.
So I'm going to mute all anyway. So
okay.
So you can mute yourself when you want to talk. Okay, so that's just it. NMBI takes €350 before you can get your application pack. And once you get this application pack, you do all the normal documentation, verification from NMCN, like back and forth, professional transcripts, which is very important. I lay emphasis on this. And that is one part that Synergy comes in to check your documents. They want to know your number of hours. Clinical hours is different from academic hours. So it's professional transcripts, not the academic transcripts. So all those things are very important. And so back to the question, it is a very difficult challenge, and my email is full. Synergy email is full of people waiting on response from NMBI. So it is not like everything is at a hot, it's just this time. But I'm very sure very soon things will go back. So keep on the process, keep on your documentation, doing your background work and all that. And of course, you are still working, don't resign your work yet, even though you have a job offer. It is very important. Stay in job. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Please stay in job despite the fact that you have a job offer in UK or Ireland. You have to hold on with what you have before you quit. The last question will be, like, I know so many times the problem of licensing used to be a very great challenge. And how easy, or what are the easiest way to get license, even with the issue of COVID-19? Because I know of some people that currently they've been battling seriously with Nursing Council in Nigeria to get their license and to get all their papers done, so for easier migration. So in Ireland, what are the easiest way of getting the license done? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Before I go, I know Adams is trying to rush this up because he thought we have 45 minutes, but Zoom already permitted us now that we have unlimited time. So if for those that want to stay, let's take as many questions as possible. All right, so for registration, like I said, NMBI takes, once you get your, okay, I'm going to meet everybody again.
Yeah, they can see.
So once you get your application pack, as soon as you get it, or as soon as you get it, you have 90 days to complete all the paperwork and return all the completed, either your verification, either your transcript. So you have 90 days. So assessment will start from 90 days. So because of the coronavirus, of course, and we know our system problem in Nigeria, NFCN has really been a challenge. But of course, I think things are going online now, and I'm so much following everything that is happening in Nursing Nigeria. So I think the verification is going online, licensing is going online now. So of course, we need somebody, an insider, to do this job for us. So if you're having challenges with that, I know Sajpointe has an internal person, Synergy has an internal person in Nursing Council that can help to expedite this process. And like I said, it's just about time. So that is about that. And NMBI is very, like I'm talking about Ireland now, very lenient about this. The way they communicate with you, once you start a registration, you have your own accounts where you can track as documents comes in. If your referee has sent in their documents, so you can track, you can see what is actually going on with that, and you can ask questions. Basically, they take international calls. Yeah, you can call internationally. Their websites, I can post that here. You can send an email and you get the response. So just give some time, and whatever thing we are typing, I am very sure they're very particular about the content of your emails. Don't just type like, I need information about relocation. Like, be very straightforward. And like, I get a lot of emails like that. I am this from Nigeria. Can you help me with relocation? Like, it doesn't make sense. So just be very particular when you are sending your emails. They respond to emails, and if you need any help with that, if you have any challenge, like some people have challenges with filling some forms and like that. So we are there to help. No problem.
Thank you very much, by Chief Executive Officer of Synergy International Nursing Network. Yeah, actually, let me just put this straight to all of us so that we'll be well informed. This event was actually partnered, and we are not here selling any agency to you, because you know some of you already have the agency that you are following, but they deem it fit, they took their time, and they feel like this is not a paid service. This is one of the social responsibilities that they want to engage in, so that people will know and they have information at their disposal. So the organization that we are having on the platform this afternoon, we are not asking for you to come and join or not, but these are the essential things that you should have, and this is a token that they are paying back to the society, especially to the nursing community at large. Thank you very much, my able CEO. I think yeah, I actually saw you too that we've been extended with our time. So we are gonna use some of the question and answer time to answer some of those things that might be coming up. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Olayinka.
Thank you. Then I have to go to my next guest, and that is my able and honorable CEO all the way from United States of America.
Was it Trump?
Yeah, that's in
Mr.
person
Trump.
of Sandra Ajao, that's the CEO of Sajpointe Health. Thank you very much for joining us this beautiful time. Let me just take off first from this first question. Now, I know there are a lot of people that have been having this kind of serious challenges now, especially with the announcement of President Donald Trump. And I mean, I'm talking about the government of the United States on ban of some countries, and Nigeria was included. Now, the people that have their requirements already in Nigeria and people that still aspire to go to United States to work as a nurse, with this ban, what is the effect?
Okay, it's actually real sad about the current ban situation, and also the fact that we have a lot of nurses, waiting right now, who are done with their NCLEX, or they're all USRNs and are at the immigration phase and just waiting, patiently for this ban to be lifted. But we are quite positive right now, because okay, we have the Nigerian government sitting on this and responding to the needs of the USCIS, and we are hopeful that by October, when the seat on this matter again, it's going to come up positive. So and also the part of the retrogression we're having right now, we expect that at the start of a new fiscal year, which is October also, this would have Nigeria current again. So we have a lot of nurses patiently waiting, and I really want to commend everybody for being that positive about the situation, and be sure to know that it's all worth the wait, it's what the struggle, it's what every bit of it. I'm here in the United States and I don't want to be anywhere, so just keep at it and keep waiting. And we are all trying to be strong through everything. It's a little bit very traumatic, emotionally, and having to be in this process for a couple years. I know people that have been on this for 3 years and they're still patiently waiting. Just keep at it. By October, we expect to see, more positive news from this aspect. And all we're just doing is to, stay strong. If you have other network of nurses, whom you're on same journey with, you can, try to gather morale from these people, speak to, your mentors to guide you through, and just stay strong. We're quite positive by October this is going to be, the ban is going to be lifted, hopefully. I am not immigration, but hopefully we're expecting to see more positive news from this end.
Thank you very much for that beautiful answer. That will take me to the next question, and that is the issue of NCLEX. I know we used to have this kind of fear and anxiety. NCLEX, almighty exam. Yeah, how do I do this exam and pass? Can you please just enlighten us in the brief, and so that we have a clue and how we can go about it?
Well, first off, I like the point you mentioned. The first point you mentioned. There's this fear of the unknown when it comes to the NCLEX. Like NCLEX, oh my God, NCLEX. Trust me, I would like to say this confidently that 50% of the problem you're gonna have with NCLEX is solved by the time you take away that fear. You get off that fear, get it lifted. See, I've had to coach a number of nurses who I'd say they're USRNs now in the past 3 years, and I'd say that if they can succeed, if they can excel and pass the NCLEX with the numerous and multiple kind of challenges they have, then trust me, you can do it too. So just have that positive mindset and know that you can excel, you can pass the NCLEX, and not just pass the NCLEX, you can pass it flawlessly. So there are a number of strategies, there are a number of points and key things I always mention to my students. When it comes to taking the NCLEX, there are a whole lot of them, but I would like to fine-tune them to very key ones. And number one, as I said, have a positive mindset. Okay, have a positive mindset. Know that you can defeat the NCLEX. It is defeatable. It is a beast, yes, but we can defeat it. That's number one. Going with a positive mindset. Number two, always be in a study environment. A study environment is very key. We know that, okay, this is a professional exam, and we know that we're all nurses. We all have our jobs. We have worked 12-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts, however your workplace is, however, you work in we'll have whatever hospital you work in, we are actively, workers. So, and also you have to study. And aside the fact you're workers, you also have family. We are wives, we are husbands, we have kids, and these are like extra responsibilities. So you have to, like, being in a study environment is more like, being in study groups, which my company also we have the NCLEX review groups where you can join. And I believe something in learning this, you can actually learn in two ways. You can learn actively and you can also learn passively. When you're in a study environment, even if you're not actively, like listening to the lectures or taking notes, like you're trying to get what the instructor or what the lecturer is talking about, that is when you're actively learning, like you're taking notes, you're listening, you want to get 100% of it all. If you're in that environment and you're not even doing that, you just want to be there, you're just there, you're doing other things, and those information are just flying everywhere. Trust me, you are passively learning, in the sense that you're getting like maybe 2 or 4% of whatever they are saying in there, even if you aren't paying attention. There's a part where what you're listening and a part where you're hearing, you're seeing, and you're actually looking, So like, we make use of the WhatsApp platform, though we have upgraded and we have our own chat classrooms right now. Okay, you have like this text, this messages coming in, and you're not looking at them. You're supposed to be reading them, but you're just looking at them. Somehow it registers in your memory, unconsciously. You might not know it. I mean, daily you're seeing, like, okay, say they sent artwork of maybe what are the symptoms, or what are the signs and symptoms of the Cushing syndrome, and you're seeing this. You don't want to learn it, but it's somehow registering. The diagram, the pictures are in your head. So now that is a way in which you can learn if you're actively working, and you don't want to spend so much time studying. Being in that environment alone helps you. You might not know it. If you get like 2% of whatever you're being taught a day, in the space of 1 month, you've gotten about 80% of it without even knowing. That's what is called passive learning, being in a study environment. And also this helps you because you're amongst a group of people, which you have a common goal. You want to pass the NCLEX. That also helps you mentally. That keeps you motivated to want to study. Number 3, as I always mention, is that always know that, you have to be consistent. See, you don't have to spend 8 hours. You don't have to spend 7 hours, 10 hours, 1 million hours studying a day. No. If you can put in 1 hour or 2 hours every day studying for the NCLEX, and you do that consistently every single day, you will be good. You will sure be good. We all know we're not in school where all we just do is what? We just study and we go home and we eat and do other things. We all have other responsibilities right now. So like that 1 hour alone is enough to get you through. So don't be scared. I mean, if you're able to just cover a particular system a day, it's fine, good and fine. Just ensure you do it well and ensure that the next day you're revising it. And and there's a whole lot of stuff to want to learn in the NCLEX. And the thing is that we have like the Nigerian nursing curriculum is way different from that of the United States. So there's a whole lot of gap in our education system that you have to fill up. So you have a lot of things to cover up. So consistency is key. If it's 1 hour of study every day, good, do it. But just ensure you do it tomorrow, ensure you do it next tomorrow, ensure you do it every single day. And trust me, you'll be good to go. Okay. And another part I want to mention is avoid numerous texts, numerous resources. For the NCLEX, we have a ton of them. We have Lippincott, we have Saunders, we have Kaplan, we have a whole lot of them out there. So you want to stick to the reliable ones, the ones that are tested and trusted. That's why you need, experienced nurses who are also USRNs to guide you on the right resources to connect with. Okay, in as much as we are learning, we don't want to learn too much and get ourselves confused. We should learn to get knowledge and not learn to be confused. There's a lot of contradictory information with all these textbooks, and you want to avoid things that will get you more confused. And instead of you feeling like you're quite knowledgeable about something, you feel like you're not getting anything better. You're sad because you don't understand what to stick to. So like having people guide you through your study also would help you, which the Sajpointe NCLEX review program can conveniently do that. So also, as I said, the next point will be strategies. You can't do away with that with the NCLEX, because as I said, it's quite cumbersome. There's a whole lot of stuff you have to learn, you have to read, you have to know. And no matter how much you know, no matter how much you've been able to study, you've studied like for 2 years or 3 years for the NCLEX, you can never know it all, you can never cover it all. So that's where the strategies come in place, come to play. Okay, you have to have the strategies in your fingertips, okay, so you can tackle these questions when you see them in the strategies you have to make do. And also know that time isn't your enemy for the NCLEX, but the wrong answer is. Time isn't your enemy.
Can we mute ourselves, please?
Let's have it up. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Also know that time isn't your enemy for the NCLEX, but the wrong answer is. You have a huge number of hours. You have like before the ban, we had 6 hours to answer like a certain number of questions. Now I think we have about 4 hours given for you to answer about 130 questions. So the thing is that they're testing you to know, can you provide safe care for our patients? Can you keep our patients alive for us? They ain't testing you of how fast you can critically think. Yeah, they want you to critically think and get the answers, but they're not really particular about how timely you do that. So for the NCLEX, time isn't your enemy, but the wrong answer is. So always have that at the back of your mind. And also the God factor, we cannot, dismiss that in this whole process. God is the ultimate. Put him in whatever thing you're doing in your studies, and trust me that you can defeat it. You can defeat the NCLEX, you can defeat the beast, and you can do it. A number of people have done it, and you're not going to be different.
Thank you.
I think I feel like you should continue, and because it's just coming into my cerebrum, and then the thing is getting deep and deep and deeper.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. I think I want to believe that all of us on this platform at this special hour, I want to believe we didn't waste our time, and we didn't waste our data as well. We were getting the information as expected, and I can see some smiles that shows that the people that we have on the platform, they are well versed and experienced in these issues that they are talking about, and they are not like the agent that we don't even know, we don't even see, we don't even know their credentials. We don't even know about them, but these are the people that we can see face to face. We know their credentials, we know where they are coming from, and we know where they are, and we can see they are talking from experience, because experience is best teacher. So that shows that whatever we are hearing this particular hour, they are real, they are exact, they are not just density. Thank you very much for that beautiful answer. Actually, I think my guest from Saudi Arabia is on the platform. Thank you for coming up.
Good.
Thank you for coming up. But I don't know. I think
he has to unmute himself. Akindele, right?
You actually wanted to say something before I come.
Yes.
Okay, he's on.
Thank you, Nurse Akindele Kolawole, all the way from Saudi Arabia. Thank you for joining us. The first question that I would like to ask you here is that how does one go to Saudi and work? What are the ways to get the license, the work permit, and to work as a registered nurse in Saudi Arabia? Thank you for joining us.
All right, you're welcome. Good afternoon. Actually, I'm very sorry for my listeners. This is as a result of some unexpected circumstances from work. There are ways to come to Saudi Arabia. The first pathway, or the first means of coming to Saudi Arabia that is more easy is direct employment from the government. Most time, the Ministry of Health put up an advert in their website and people make an application through their website, Saudi Council for Health Specialists, and they select based on qualifications and some criteria. If one is got an opportunity to get the employment through them, it's so much easier and less costly. At times, people don't even spend anything before they come to Saudi Arabia if they get a job directly from the Ministry of Health, because the government will give all the requirements, all the money, all the financial that is required. They be the one to pay it on behalf of their applicant. Another means of coming to Saudi Arabia, that's about direct employment from the Ministry of Health. The second method is through recruitment agency. That one is well known by everybody. Even in all other countries, maybe Philippines, Indonesia, Nigeria, and so on and so forth, majority of the staffs here come through the recruitment agency. It's somehow costly, but it's still better than some other methods, whereby you apply through the recruitment agency. For example, in Nigeria, people apply through Oniva Concept, and some other recruitment agencies like that. It's costly, but at least if you are being employed under ministry through them, you will still enjoy more, because all the money you paid will return back to you once you arrive in Saudi Arabia. Another means of coming to Saudi Arabia, which is the third pathway, is through by obtaining, that one is based on your interest, by obtaining a resident visa through an organization. Maybe somebody have, maybe some of the Saudis, they have organization that they set aside to recruit people from outside. When you come under them, you can transfer from them. You know, Saudi rule is all about kafir, sponsor. You must be under somebody as a sponsor before you can be in Saudi Arabia. They will be your sponsor in Saudi Arabia. When you get to Saudi Arabia, you can transfer, called Nagil Kafala. You can transfer from them to the organization you want to work. But as a nurse, if you come in through that method, there are some other things that you have to do when you arrive in Saudi Arabia. Once you get the visa from there, through them, you get to Saudi Arabia on your visa. They can write something like maybe window cleaner. They can write something like what we call maid. They can write any work for you. But when you get into Saudi Arabia, you will have to first sit down, submit your credential for verification to the data flow. The data flow will verify all your documents and they will give you the eligibility number. Once you have the eligibility number, you can apply through the Saudi Council for Health Specialists for classification and registration, which you will have to sit for the exam and become a licensed nurse in Saudi Arabia. After that, you can transfer from that organization to hospital or any other health sector. That one is very tough, but has its own advantage as well. Because all the money spent will come directly from your pocket. And this is not a small money, but at least you have it that test, you have traveled out, and you have acquired the license practice as a nurse in any organization you wish. There are some, those are the methods or the pathways through which somebody can come through the Saudi Arabia. One, as I listed it, direct employment from the Ministry of Health or from the employer in Saudi Arabia. Two, through recruitment agency, in which you might know where you will work or you might not know where you will work, not till you get to Saudi Arabia. Three, obtaining a direct resident visa directly from one of the organizations or employer in Saudi Arabia, which does not match with your what do you call it, your nursing experience in Nigeria. That when you get to Saudi, you have to maneuver on how to change your work on the visa and your status in Saudi Arabia as a key worker. Those are the methods.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Another question again that will come up is that, for instance, if I'm a traditionalist and I so much love to work in Saudi Arabia, and I know Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country, is it, being a nurse, I should be able to work in any part of the world and based on my interest? How challenging is it going to be for me as a traditionalist, working as a nurse and then practicing my feet?
You won't have any challenge because it's only in 2 regions that other religions are not allowed. If you are not a Muslim, you cannot enter Mecca, Mukarramah, because that's where they call the sacred land, where the Kaaba is situated, where people come to perform Hajj. The other region you cannot enter is Medina Munawwara. That is where the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Masjid is being situated. But all other regions of Saudi Arabia, we have different religions. Although they limit them in practicing their religion publicly. But people practice their religion inside their house without any problem. We have Christians, we have paganism, we have Hinduism, name it. There is no religion that are not in Saudi Arabia. Even our Igbo people from Nigeria, the majority of them are not Muslim, are here in Saudi Arabia. Majority of them are in Riyadh, in Jeddah, in Dammam, many regions like that. So Saudi Arabia does not discriminate any religion, except for 2 regions that they have already written it, and it's already been written for you as a regulation not to enter: Mecca and Medina. All other regions are accepted.
Okay, thank you for that. Does that mean that even if I come in and I'm practicing my traditional religion in my room, police will not come in and bang on my door and say, "Hey, you, get out"?
Yeah, thank you. If you're practicing it privately for yourself, not for the public, nothing will happen to you. But if you want to make it as a business or a commercial purpose, that okay, people should be coming to you to be doing this kind of thing that they used to do, the police will come and cut. That's when the police will come in. But if at all you are doing it for yourself, you want to practice as a Christian in your room, even we have some people that are Christians, they obtain the house, or maybe 3-bedroom flat. 3 of them are Christians, in Jeddah, for example, and they are practicing their religion in their house without making it a commercial purpose. If it's not making it a commercial purpose, for a reason, no problem. If you are doing it privately.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that beautiful answer. Lastly, on that aspect, how friendly is Saudi Arabia to expatriates, to foreigners? How friendly, how welcoming is Saudi?
Maybe diplomatic in answering that question a bit, but I'll be straightforward. There is no, because we should know that this is not our country, and it's happening in all other countries as well. Although the racism in Saudi Arabia is limited compared to some other countries. However, you as non-citizen, because we that we are in Saudi Arabia, we have not been permitted to have what we call permanent resident card, not to talk of citizen. We are only working with work visa. You as a worker, there are certain limitations that will be listed in your employment contract. But generally, Saudi Arabia are welcoming. They are friendly, they are good. That's if you know your limitation. But if you are a kind of person that does not know your limit, you will face with what you call Saudi Arabia, a real Saudi. That's just the answer to the question.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nurse Akindele, for that beautiful remark over there. Nurse Olayinka, I don't know, you wanted to add something to that?
Yeah, not about Saudi. Okay, about Saudi, I'll just say now for Ireland and UK that I know, there are a lot of recruitment agencies and employers that are looking for nurses from Saudi, and like that's like the hot cake now. I have to be honest, is that the hot cake, you have experience. In fact, some of them state specifically that they need nurses with experience from the UAEs, from that side. So if you have opportunity to go there while waiting for like the hot cake, US, UK, and all that, if you have the opportunity, I would say you could just take it, and then the work experience will be like an added advantage for you to come over. Honestly, I would say if you put somebody with experience from Saudi and then just in Nigeria, they will pick Saudi first. That's what is going on now. So if you have the opportunity to go over there, even if it's just 1 year, please do. It's not a waste of time.
Thank you very much for that remark. That will take me to another question that I'm going to put straight to the two of you, the CEO of Nursing Synergy International Nursing Network and CEO of Sajpointe. Now, I've seen so far that in so many adverts on the social media, and even in the information that is flaring around, there is a lot of recruitment that usually lay emphasis or give more or how do I put it, that demands or asks for people from Philippine country. And I've never seen a situation where the recruitment agency will be saying nurses from Nigeria. What exactly is the problem here? Are we having an inferior nursing practices? Are we having an inferior nursing education? Or is it that the government try to close us up so that we don't have this kind of international opportunities? And that will also take me to another question to my honorable CEO Sajpointe, that I learned that even in US, when you are trying to do your evaluation and credentialing, you don't really have much challenge like some other countries where they will tell them that you still have to pass some hours, that your nursing curriculum or whatever has not met certain criteria, especially, I don't know how true it is, that some nurses from South Africa or some nurses from, especially from the southern part of Africa, when they come to US, they still have to undergo, they will ask them that you've not met up with these so hours of nursing education, yet it doesn't happen to people from nurses, to nurses from Nigeria. And we still have it all around. Nurses from Philippine nurses are required. What exactly is the comment? Let me start from Mrs. Aremu first.
Yeah, thank you so much. That question is an honest question, and if here you have a lot of Filipinos, Indian nurses, like they are everywhere. They're everywhere. And yes, it's true that you have more demand from them, or people like requesting, recruitment agency requesting for them. Why is this? To the best of my knowledge, when they are talking about recruitment, they want to look at settings where they have similar healthcare system, at least close to. That is what, even if not exactly, at least close to. So I would say maybe technological wise, and a lot of all these things are more in the Filipino or the India countries than in Nigeria. Another challenge that we have as Nigerians is our what will I call it now, academic package. There's this gap. Sandra mentioned that there is a lot of gap existing in our clinical pathway, our academic background and all that. So they look at this as well. They look at your clinical hours, they look at the hospital setting. Like I said, similar healthcare system. So for instance, how many hospitals in Nigeria even has up to 30,000 beds, like 2,000 beds? So all these things are what they look at for in where you work. It's not just work in the private hospital that is only 30 bedded. So if you put that to 30 bedded, and we have a lot of hospitals like that, people working in private, even in public setting, the only 300 bedded hospital in the whole hospital. So they look at all this. So what I would say is, when you are trying to write your CV, please be very careful, because your CV can even put you off. Once you are writing that I work in a particular hospital, 280 bedded, they just look like, no, this is not enough, this is not sufficient. So those are the major things I feel are the challenge. Another thing is that, these people are here. They are more than us. Like, they have bodies, they have network, like existing network. So that can help them, that can facilitate their transfer and all that. And that is what Sinad is trying to do here in Ireland. And so we have a home base, a network of people, so we can actually speak for ourselves, we can support ourselves when it comes to even right information and guiding people alongside. So I hope that's.
Thank you very much. CEO, Sajpointe Health.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that question. Olayinka, you spoke really well, because I think there's a little bit of similarity with what you said about Ireland and that of the United States. But I wouldn't really say categorically that it's really that obtainable there here in the States. Well, I'd like to link this up with the kind of agency you're affiliated with. Okay, permit me, maybe later on you can allow me to speak about the process involved in getting licensed as a nurse in the USA. I think I've seen a couple questions on that aspect. When it comes to the Filipinos, I know for the United States, there are certain agencies that kind of started from the Philippines or are owned by the Philippines. One of them is Shearwater Health. That's the agency I am with. And I would really somehow kind of say yes, there's a little bit of preference when they're trying to get nurses in to the United States from their home country. You can have, like, say a percent, like a ratio of maybe 5 to maybe 2 nurses. Maybe you have 5 Filipino nurses, come in, then you have like 2 nurses from maybe Nigeria. There's this preference, but I want to believe that it's because they started from the Philippines, and that is why they give, more attention to their own nurses. When it comes to like competency, competency, as Olayinka said, I think we Nigerian nurses have to like prove. I think we're really doing well. We're really doing well. We're coming here to the United States, and we are really, really, really gaining grounds, and showing these people that really our education in Nigeria, nursing education is in Nigeria, might not be what they have in the States, but definitely it is matchable. It meets that requirements that they need, and we are really making exploits, and I'm really happy for that. So now that notion is being cleared, that nurses from this certain part of the world are not competent enough, don't have that nursing skills that are desired in the States. We're doing awesome. So I want to believe it's kind of linked to where these agencies started from. That is why they kind of take preference to the Filipinos. And also I would like to state this, Nigerians, I believe we're very strong people. Like, we are resilient, and that's why wherever we find ourselves in, we always make exploits. We always do very well, because we try to work against with the challenges, and make good things out of ourselves. So we don't just take anything. You can't just throw a certain contract to us and we just grab it. No. We are strong beings with strong minds, and we will fight to the end to ensure that you give us that same attention, you give us that same value as you would give to your nurses from that country. So you wouldn't just see any Nigerian nurse grab any kind of contract to give to them. They're going to ask you questions. Why am I having this? Why is she having that? The Filipinos, with my level of knowledge about them, I think they just, I'm not trying to be like, say because I'm Nigerian or anything. No, I think they just go for anything. You just okay, I have this for you. They just grab it. They don't ask questions. Because get out of the country and you get there and work. But for a Nigerian, we ask you tons of questions. And their agencies, their ventures, their business people, and we want to go for ways that are easier for them. Nurses, they would easily just throw contracts at, and they would just grab it. Nigerians are stubborn, and we're stubborn in a positive way. that we can anything out there, and that is the that noise. Okay, that is why I would say these agencies sometimes we just go for the Filipinos because they know they can easily just get them, you know, they put them at the top of their preference before, you know, say Nigerians or any other country, so to say. But I also want to let you know that there are a whole lot of agencies that don't look at it. Aremu, for instance, has a whole lot of nurses in a lot of countries, irrespective.
Can that person mute, please?
Aremu, for instance, has nurses recruited from different countries, a whole lot of countries, irrespective of where you are from. So don't look at this as a limitation for you. You definitely can get that, you know, nursing contract that you want. You definitely can come here. You can sign up a good contract with a good agency, a reputable agency, and come down here to the United States to work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You validate our fears, and then we've learned so many things. And actually, I think just to add a little point to that, I think this is the right time for all of us, especially in Nigeria, the Nigerian nurses, to use this opportunity to allow our Nigerian-based local agencies that are in US or whichever part of the world to grow up, because I can deduce from what both of you have said so far, and that is what we need now. We need the connections, and that is why we need to support you. We need to come with you so that at least you are in the country, you know the best, and you know how to manipulate things and maneuver things. Definitely, the agency will definitely want to go for what they know, what they are sure of, what the link they can use. So I think I pray for CEO, Synergy International Network, CEO, Sajpointe, that it's gonna be good, and you guys are gonna be good because you guys are doing a very great job. Thank you. Now, Mrs. Aremu, I don't know what you want to add before we.
Yeah. So please, I might have to mute everybody because interference is really affecting. Now, quickly, there are a lot of questions there about island migration and all that, like just like US as well. So I'm not going to run through the steps to relocating to Ireland or UK. Like, you know, Synergy, we work in UK and Ireland, and so to come to Ireland, first of all, and UK, like everyone, you need an IELTS or OET for Ireland. So let me just quickly run through the requirement, the language requirements. The new one now, there is an updated list. So if you're going through the IELTS pathway, for Ireland, you need listening, reading, speaking, which 7, and then you need 6.5 in writing. So, but overall, you need a minimum of 6.5 in one module. So that means 3 modules have to be 7 or more. But you can have 6.5 in any one of them, especially writing. Then the OET, you need grade B in 3 components and C+ in 1 component. So if you're interested, I can send, I have the emails, I can send in this document to your email. So there is no bargain about that. You need an English language proficiency. And that's the first thing I say. If you ask me, I say, do you have this? So please, if you want to go through this pathway, just give yourself that startup to, you know, get your English language certification. So after this, the next thing you need in Ireland is to start your registration. So start your registration with NMBI. Of course, you need the IELTS, I've said, and it's IELTS academic, not general. So the NMBI registration is very straightforward. You request for an overseas, you request for a registration pack by paying 350 euros. And the difference, the major thing about this is you have to pay it in euros, and they need like a euro address, like an island address for you to apply for this, which is where Synergy can come in. We have to pay it in euros. If you have a domiciliary account, fine. If not, we can pay that on your behalf. You just have to pay the Naira equivalent and any other service fee attached. So that is that. Once you get your application pack, The application pack will be mailed to you. You can courier it, or you can just scan it carefully and give it to you. You complete that, you send the required one to maybe an NMCN, your employer, and all that. So as soon as NABI receives this, you can use 6 months to do all this process. It depends on you. And you can use 1 month to get your documents ready. It depends on you. But as soon as NABI receives your application pack, assessment takes about 90 days. That's 3 months. So if you had used 1 month to do your documentation, 3 months, within 3 months, you will get your decision. So your decision is either, usually when they are satisfied, the highest of it from Nigeria that I know is that they will ask you that to come either for adaptation or aptitude test. Now, what's the difference between adaptation and aptitude test? Aptitude test is you coming in to say, okay, I need to upgrade, I need to do this exam, and usually paid for it. It's not free. It's very expensive. It's about 2,800 euros. So we have people that pay for this themselves as candidates. If you can do this, you don't need an employer to pay that for. But if you're lucky to get a job offer, employer that can pay that for you. But there's always terms and conditions anyway. So let's just be clear. So once you come into that, it is your decision. If you're coming to the aptitude pathway, the aptitude test pathway, and you have registered, you need an evidence that you have registered, and they will send an invitation to come for the exam. So it is this invitation that you need to apply for visa. If you have an employer, the employer will do this process for you. If you have an agency, they will do this process for you. They'll help you out. So, but you can do it on your own as well. You just need information. You just need somebody to just say, okay, do it this way, do it this way. So that is it. Once you get your visa says you're coming in for exam, and usually 6 months, a typical working scheme that needs to be applied for. So all these have some bits of fees, like statutory fees that you have to pay, like that. As an individual, you can pay for these. I have like 5, 6 nurses here that sponsor themselves here. But once you get here, get your PIN, you can get an employer that will be ready to refund you. I tell people that I only spent 200,000 naira to get here, and I collected my 200,000 back as soon as I got my PIN. Like, no pain, no gain. That's it. So there is a risk involved. So if you can go through that, but if you're lucky enough to have an employer that will sponsor, I will have to be honest this time, it's very hard now because people, the economy is very bad, and even the employers are trying to cut costs and all that. So if you can sacrifice, it's very fine. So once you come in, you write your aptitude test. The aptitude test is usually, they won't give you a date that's very far. So if you're entering, today, your aptitude test to be a week after or 4 days after. So that means you have to start your preparation even back from Nigeria. You don't have to wait till you get here. So you do the aptitude test is CBT, the common CBT that we know. So, and after you pass that, you'll be invited to do the OSCE. OSCE is just a week after the MCQ. So if you pass, and there's opportunity to resit only once. So that means within your 6-month visa, you are still doing you can still do all these things. So after the OSCE, you have like 5 days or like 5 working days to get your results. And you all definitely know if you pass or not. And we have, I would say 90%, 95% pass rate. And Nigerians are doing well, like well. If you can pass, Nursing Council in Nigeria, honestly, you pass here. We do all these things back home, and although we take it for granted, you will see it more clearly here. You have more technology to help you through, and they're not here there to fail you. So you pass. And once you get your PIN, you are flying. So if you have an employer, very well, you can start in. But now the other part is the adaptation. For you to come for adaptation, you need an employer. I said aptitude test, you don't need an employer. If you're able to sponsor yourself, fine. If you have an employer that will sponsor you for aptitude test, I had an employer that sponsored me, not myself alone, like a group of us, for aptitude test. But like I said, terms and conditions, you have to work with them, maybe 3 years, 2 years, and all that. That's one thing about those kind of contracts. But if you're coming through adaptation, you need an employer. The employer that will say, oh, I'm taking this person to do adaptation. Adaptation is just 6 weeks. 6 weeks, straight 6 weeks. You'll be paid as a period nurse. Your money will not be like the normal nurse. You'll be paid at the rate of, I think Ireland there is around 10 euros per hour or so, depending on where you're working. 10 euros, 11 euros per hour, which is still much compared to where we're coming from, within 6 weeks. And no exam. It's just a normal adaptation process that you go through, and you finish and you get your PIN. Then you start being paid. You're already with an employer. So it's just like a migration from a period nurse to a staff nurse. You get your PIN and then you can start working. It's straightforward.
Okay.
And so that's the process in Ireland. Similar like that is in the UK. But in the UK, of course, you need certificate of sponsorship after you have finished your NMC registration. So for UK, you need an employer right from start. You need an employer to get your certificate of sponsorship because that's what you need for your visa. So it is, and of course, the fees still have to be paid, and it's just that way. UK, you need an employer, and it is very easy to get employer in the UK. There are a lot of agencies, more than Ireland. Ireland is still like coming up to UK. So UK, you have more opportunities, you have more employers, you have more agencies willing to even bring you in without a fee. Of course, there are terms and conditions, there are contracts, terms, and all that. So that's just a bit of it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can see my CEO Sajpointe coming up, but please let me quickly come to Mrs. Ajiteru, because there are a lot of questions that has been coming up on New Zealand. So I want her to take it in a general look, and it's gonna be within just a short time, like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Just wrap it up. I can see you've been answering a lot of questions. Just
yeah, she's actually doing well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, do you just want me to answer the questions that I'm seeing on the screen? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So there are so many questions here. Somebody talked about the adaptation. So the adaptation here in New Zealand is called Competency Assessment Program. And it's similar to the ones they do in the UK. It's just like, it spans between 6 and 12 weeks, depending on your provider, I mean your school. So if you go in, you just do like 2 weeks classroom-based lectures, and you go to the hospital to complete the other ones. It's similar to the clinical adaptation that we clinicals that we do back in Nigeria. It's an opportunity for you to prove your worth. Because, you know, just like Sandra was talking about Nigerians, we are resilient people. If you go in there, it's an opportunity to tell them that you can do it. So your adaptation period is going to tell them what you can offer. Yeah. By the time you finish, you're already good to go to start doing the job. So your provider, you don't have to write any exams anymore. You will only do we call it something that we do in Nigeria, like a case study. That's the similar thing that you're going to do at the end of your adaptation. So your provider will be the one to send all those things to the nursing council, and you get your PIN, and that's it. So you don't have to do anything more further to that. And if you want to take it further, you can apply to Australia straight away, and they will give you. But you only have to pay them. No exams, no English, nothing to be done. I think that's one of the questions.
Coming to New Zealand.
Are you? It's okay.
Dr. Ajiteru, can you see that now? You know, I've discussed that with you sometimes ago that I have to be in New Zealand. So you can see now.
You are all welcome.
I've been seconded with Mrs. Aremu now, so we are all coming to New Zealand.
It's good. We'll be looking forward to seeing you guys. Yeah.
All right. So let me now go back to Sandra on that beautiful question too.
Okay, I've been seeing a lot of questions about the process of licensure for the United States. I'll try to summarize it all because it's actually really cumbersome. I'd say it's like it might be the most complex out of all the international nursing licensure processes that we have.
I think so Canada is the most complex.
Yeah, I think Canada. Anyways, so for the United States, what I want to let everyone know is that, okay, we have agencies that help with this. We have like we have the likes of Avance, we have Share What I Held, O'Grady Payton, Interstaff. We have a number of them that come, go out of the United States to help recruit nurses, to the US. But the thing now is that each of these agencies have their requirements, and sometimes we're always unfortunate that we don't meet these requirements. I was one of them, and I'd say, talking from my experience, it wasn't really nice, but I'm happy that I did it on my own, and my experience from that was what gave birth to Sajpointe Health. And one thing you have to know about these agencies is that it's either they want you to have at least 2 years of experience. We have nurses who are fresh out of school and don't even want to work at all in Nigeria, and they just want to, fly out. People like that, trust me, you would want to go another route than the agencies. And also you have some of them requiring, stating that you need to be in a tertiary level hospitals. Some of us are not, working in the federal hospitals and all. We are like, in private hospitals. People like that, you can't meet up with our requirements. And also, I want to state here that you have to go another route. I'm going to be talking about the route you're going to go through after I've listed this, the common requirements that this agencies tend to, ask for. Then the third one is always for your level of education. Some of us just have a diploma, we just have our RNs, and we don't have a bachelor's yet. So people like this, you have limitations on the kind of agencies that will take you up. We have, I think Avance right now, I've also asked, requiring you to have your BSc in nursing. I think OGP, O'Grady Payton, still, goes with the RNs, just a diploma. Share What I Held, of course, you have to have your BSc. So, if you fall in the category of, say, just you have only the RN and you're finding it difficult finding agencies to sign you up, then you have to go the other route. And what is that route that I'm talking about? I'm talking about being self-sponsored. Okay, as of 2-3 years ago, when I started my process, information was really scarce online. I mean, I could remember having to, because I was really fresh out of school, but I didn't have the number of years of experience these agencies required. And I was also working in a private setting, so I had to find another way, because I really needed to get to the American dream has always been my thing, and I wanted that. So I had to find a way out of it. So I went online, surfing the internet for different information. It was just so much. But now it's better because we have agencies like Sajpointe Health who can guide you through this, and it doesn't have to be that overwhelming for you. We can help you, guide you from start to finish till that point where you actually need an agency to help you fight for your I-140. So now I'm going to be talking about self-sponsorship. So if you fall in the category that you don't have agencies to sign you up, you can sponsor yourself. I know we are always bothered about, the cost implication. Can I afford it? Well, you can. Well, I don't know how your financial strength is, but there are ways around those things, because in total, like averagely, you would need, say, about 1.2 millionaire or 1.4 millionaire for the entire process to, have your NCLEX. The thing about this is that it is one figure, but you don't have to have it once. You can break down this money. You can break it down according to, your monthly income, and say the first. Can we have this? Let me the noise, the background noise. Okay. All right. So the thing is that you can have this the cost, the financial aspect broken down into bits in which you can afford. Okay, for the first 2 months, you pay for a certain aspect of the first stage or the step of the licensure process. The next month you pay for another one, and you go on and on like that. And Sajpointe Health has a concise. We've been able to put up like a financial plan for self-sponsored nurses on how they can get by this cost implication for the NCLEX. So you can definitely make do with that. So the first step in this licensure process, firstly, before you start, you have to have a valid Nigerian nursing license. It has to be current, it has to be active. That's the first thing. And second thing is that you have to have your international passport. This wasn't really necessary at the start of your process before, but now with CGFNS, somehow they kind of upgraded their system, and it requires you to have your passport international number for you to register with them. So this is like a new new development. So first off, you want to, as I said, you have to have your nursing license. It has to be active. Then you should have your international passport. And the first step involves you registering with CGFNS for your evaluation. Okay, your credential evaluation. We have other bodies, other evaluation bodies that do this. Well, it depends on the board of nursing you want to register with, but typically we use it's always RS or CGFNS or just self-sealing, one of those three. But mostly people, we advise you to use CGFNS because once you've passed your NCLEX, you're still going to need CGFNS for your visa screen, and you don't want to go about starting your evaluation process again. You know, you don't want to go through all the stress. So why not just use CGFNS from the onset, except they're like, you know, challenges that you really cannot surmount, and you just have to go by other kind of evaluation bodies. So now you want to register with CGFNS to evaluate your credentials. Okay, this goes for the $365. This is like the first huge sum of money you're going to be paying. $365. I think right now with the current Naira to dollar rate, I think it's about, say, 165,000 Naira. I'm not really sure about that figure, but it's around that. So that's the first huge amount you're going to be paying. So sometimes you might want to wait like maybe 2 months, combine your salary for those 2 months and just pay for that first and relax. Keep studying. The idea is while you're doing this process, be studying for the NCLEX, be in a study environment, register with study groups that you're going to be seeing things done. You're going to be learning passively or actively, however that fits your work schedule. That's the whole idea. So now once you've done your credential evaluation, at this point, while you're doing that, the next is for you to register with the Board of Nursing. We always advise to use the Texas Board of Nursing because they are somehow very flexible with international nurses and nurses from Nigeria. Their requirements kind of is something we can always meet up with. They don't require you to have a social security number. IELTS is not required. So these are things that, you know, you want to look into. Some people always bother that if I register with Texas Board of Nursing, does it mean I'm only going to work in Texas when I get to the United States? No. Once you have your, even during your immigration phase, or once you have your license, you can endorse other states. For the United States, you have to be registered with a certain state. It's not like Nigeria that your license will cover all of the country. Like you can use your license in the entire country. For the United States, you're licensed in each state of the country. So if you're licensed in Texas, you can work in any other states that is not Texas, but you can endorse other states. That is more like stating that you're eligible to work there. You don't have to write any other exam. You just have to like pay for it, and, you know, sending their requirements, maybe like do another evaluation, and you'll be able to work in other states. So don't be concerned, don't be bothered about you using Texas Board of Nursing, maybe because you want to work in Florida, you want to work in Pennsylvania, like where I am. I use Texas Board of Nursing. I am in Pennsylvania right now working as a nurse, so it doesn't really matter. So the first thing, as I said, you want to get your credentials evaluated using CGFNS, as that is the most preferable evaluation body to use. Next is to register with a State Board of Nursing. Texas is preferable. Then after that, you now have to like get your criminal background check done. This is you have to do like fingerprinting. You have like cards that would have to be sent to you to do fingerprinting. You go to like maybe any state CID to have your prints laid on them, and you send them to Ajiteru. That's like a body that is in affiliation with Texas Board of Nursing. They check you, they run your prints on their database and see if you have any criminal record. If not, that's a good one that shows you're eligible to, you know, register with the Board of Nursing. So first, credential evaluation. Second, register with the Board of Nursing. Third, do your criminal background check. And after you've done that, you have to do also the nursing jurisprudence exam. It's just and it's an open book exam. It's real easy. You know, people kind of get scared, you know, of when they hear exam. You know, they'll be like, oh my God, is it like NCLEX? No, it's not NCLEX. It's open book. You can have your you can soften it while you're doing the exam. It's just on rules and regulation guiding the profession in Texas as a state. So when you have your NJE, that's the nursing jurisprudence exam done, then you have all that is required. good thing, your CGFNS and your CES, that's the CGFNS evaluation service, you meet their requirements, you have that set, you have your Board of Nursing registration done, you have your NJE, that's the exam passed, you have your criminal background check done. Once you have all that, then you can now pay for the exam. If you have all that, it simply just means that they now see you as eligible to be able to sit for the NCLEX examination. That's the board examination for nurses in the United States. So the next thing you want to do from there is to pay.
Sorry, my CEO, I have to cut you short.
Okay, fine. Okay.
I have to cut you short at this
time
because I can see you are going deep and deep. That's why we're gonna have another session of this event. So definitely, I know you are fully packaged to. We have there, so you have a lot of information in the package. Is inside the cooler and it's so hot. You want to open it for all of us to eat now. Please just keep it there. So that next time we have it again, we come up again.
All right.
Yeah, I think I have to go to Mrs. Tewogbade before we round it up, so that because there are some questions on Kuwait as well. So before we go and round up the show, Mrs. Tewogbade, to you, please.
Hey there.
What is the conversion rate of dinar to Nigeria currency? Well, I would just say it depends, it changes, but maybe 1,000 to 2 something.
Our audio is so low.
She trying.
Hello, Tewogbade? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So part of the question I saw here, the first one.
The volume, can you
increase
the
volume?
volume?
Yeah.
So part of the question I saw here was,
it's low.
What is the conversion rate of dinar? Dinar is the currency here in Kuwait and to that of Nigeria. It varies, I don't know, but from 1,200, I think 1,260. From 1 dinar to one dinar to 1 Kuwait Nigerian currency, 1,002 plus. And another one is, what is the secondary school education here? So when it turns
I think there's something wrong with them. Tewogbade, can you increase your volume?
I increased already.
I think it's the
Are you
network.
speaking via an earpiece or something? There's something just wrong. It's not loud enough.
Maybe you should.
I think you have to reconnect.
Okay.
Remove and replug. Yeah.
If you are using your earpiece or something.
Yes, remove your earpiece and pin it back.
No.
From the system.
From the system. Okay, can you talk now?
Yes.
Very good, very good.
So they asked about secondary school education. The fact about education here in Kuwait is that we have government institutions. They are too expensive. And the major language here is Arabic. They speak English and they speak Arabic. And in this country, I was surprised when I got here. You go to someone, maybe ministry, they will give you a sheet of paper, like maybe you want to obtain a form or something, you will see everything in Arabic. So I would not advise that if you want to come here with your families, your children and the likes, to go to higher institution here. So what people do is that when you have children, like preschool children like that, there are schools for them. We have schools, Indian school, British school, American school, Canadian schools are here. So for schooling for children, they are here, but they are expensive. If you can meet up with the requirement, like the financial aspect of it, it's fine for school children. But at the university level, what people do is that they send their children back to another country to do the university studies. And another thing is that the link, they told me to drop a link. I just communicated with the ministry people here. Presently, ministry is not recruiting. They're not taking in new staff because of the situation of the country. But for the private sectors, this is, I cannot speak for other private sectors. the only one I know, presently they are still not recruiting. So if you really want to work in Kuwait, just take my email address and message me time to time. I will update you on that. So those are the questions I saw here. If there's any other one you want me to address, you can just put it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I think we highly. I
Adam,
would like to use
Adam,
this. Yep.
I'm trying to send in a form, like an interest form for people to say, because I know a lot of, so you can be able to fill in which country of interest, which country you have interest, and leave your email. So we'll use this, create a database, and we'll be able to send it to the required place like US, so that you can have all the information.
That's good.
I'm going to send it now in another 10 seconds. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's very good. So my able participants from different parts of the world, let me just say from Nigeria, basically. I think you've learned one or two great things at this time, and I want to believe that your time was not wasted, because you've learned one good thing. And also I would like to appreciate my guests for coming up. I would like to tell you categorically it was not easy, because we are all under the same roof at a time where we have time differences. At a point in time in some country it's midnight. At a time in some country it's early in the morning. Some they are preparing to sleep. So you can see it was a great opportunity for us to come together and learn one or two things. And I would like to share my own personal experience as well, because information is power, just like I said earlier. Information is power. And my able CEO of Sajpointe, Sandra, has also said it. At a point, you know, sometimes we are looking for information, we surf on the internet, we check and check, and we get tired, and we are like, oh, this thing is too bogus. We are not really getting what we want. But this platform give us that easy things, and we're able to get it. I share my personal experience with Mrs. Ajiteru sometimes ago. New Zealand has been my dream right from when I was even in School of Nursing. I had my IELTS in 2007, and I got 6.5 orange. That was 2006. And I was looking for opportunity. New Zealand was my dream, but there was I don't know how to go about it. And then she was telling me, you have, no, I have my 5.6. I have my 6 point something, whether 6.5 or so, or 5.6 or so, whatever, or 5.5. So I forgot it. And she was telling me, no, this what you have was the great opportunity. You could have entered New Zealand. But unfortunately, I don't know how to go about it. I went on the internet, I searched for information. So all this event that we are having this period of time is just for us to know what we are looking for, our interest, the country of choice, where we feel like we would like to practice in future times. Thank you so much, my guests. Thank you for coming up, Mrs. Aremu, Olayinka, CEO, Synergy International Network, all the way from Ireland.
I have to say
Sandra,
I have to say I'm not alone. I'm not the only one. I have a co-founder. She's not here, but I have a permission to be here. Victoria Abraham, she's in the UK. So just to let you know. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Then my formidable CEO, Sajpointe, said, Sandra Ajao, all the way from United States of America. Thank you so much for coming and for sharing this vital information with us at free of charge. Can't we see at free of charge? These are the things that we are going to look for on the internet, and we are going to buy our data and use, and at the end of the day, we just get clocked at a point. I feel like I'm tired. Let me just put all this book. Thank you so much for this beautiful presentation.
You're very welcome.
So I've sent in the link. You can look at it. Please, everybody look at the chat group. I've sent in the link. So please, you can fill that, your country of interest, your contact address, and then we'll be able to channel this appropriately to the required quarters. So, and please, for GDPR purpose, we might not want to give, for people that don't want to give, they're asking for personal emails. Let's be careful about this. So we will go through this link. Just use this link, and then we will reach out to you. Like we said, Sajpointe and Synergy, we're going to do something very soon in partnership with Adams to make sure that we have a formidable network of nurses in diaspora that is ready to support every other person back home. Like I said, we are homegrown. We know your challenges. We have been through the process. We have been, like, we were the scapegoats. I used to say, like, we go through, you know, everything. So we are here to help you. We are here to support you. And of course, everything, it's time. So just be patient. And my final word would be, like, if you want it, go for it.
Yeah.
If you desire it, go for it. I remember the story, and I know a bit of the story of Ajiteru as well. It was really challenging, but then, like, we have story to tell now. There's testimony. So if you want it, go for it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Adams, for bringing this up.
Thank you very much. I also like to thank Mrs. Tewogbade all the way from Kuwait, and then you contact her. She accepted to offer this beautiful advice. She said she could have said that no, I'm not ready to partner, I'm not ready to get involved, but she believed in the event, and that's why she's coming up. Thank you very much for coming up. Also, I would like to appreciate Mrs. Ajiteru. I'm so sorry. She was supposed to be sleeping by now. Can you imagine that?
It's okay. It's a pleasure, honestly. Don't worry.
Well, thank you so much for coming up. And then we still have more events to come up again in the future. And lastly, but not the least, Nurse Akindele Kolawole, all the way from Saudi Arabia. That's my beautiful and my formidable comrades. Thank you for coming up on the show, and thank you for sharing all this beautiful information with us. God bless you. I think I would like to go to Sandra. I think she has one last note to say before we round it up.
Okay, this is awesome. I actually knew it was going to be awesome, because I don't think there's ever been any event like this where we had, like, all, you know, nurses, Nigerian nurses from other countries come together to, you know, give us all this wealth of information. So I want to personally thank everyone. You know, Olayinka, you got across to me on this, and I said, okay, this is actually a very, very good initiative, and I want to be a part of it. So Adams, thanks for this, you know, avenue. It's really great. I mean, I wish I had something like this 3 years ago. It wouldn't have been as hard as that for me, but I'm happy because I'm able to use my experience to, you know, help other people, to bless other people, and help them, you know, live their own American dream. And, you know, for other of you, you know, in other countries, also help people who are interested in those countries, you know, to reach their goals. So this is a very great initiative, and I want to be a part of it again. And I'm sure every other person, every other participant want to be a part of this again. Great. Kudos to you all, Nigerian nurses. We're doing awesome, both home and away. We are making exploits. Here in the US, you don't want to, nurses are doing really, really well. So just hold on to your dream. Don't let it go. Okay. If you can think it, you can do it. Okay. Yeah. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. So never let there are obstacles. If it's easy to achieve, then it's not worth doing. Okay. So just know that you have to stand strong, stay strong. Have mentors that can guide you. It helps you, you know, when you're emotionally down and when it's all, the situation is all traumatic and all, have people to guide you. But just know that if you can dream it, you can achieve it. It is achievable, okay? And just keep at it, keep doing it, you will eventually get there. Thanks all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and have a beautiful day, beautiful evening.
We are going to have another section coming in. I just have to say this because we could not take more than 100 participants today. But so we are going to have another section, and we'll communicate through the emails we have and the social media. Thank you so much. So blessed. Yeah.
Well done. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Tewogbade. Thank you.